Alright guys, a little bit more game of the day here. I haven't at all, for this season, done any bonus clips, because I don't really play enough each day anymore. But for this episode, I figure out I would. So here's a bonus clip on Colosseum. Today's is actually going to be a Khylo game, I think. So this queue here is climbing up to Plat 3. It was an okay day of queuing yesterday with some reasonable matches of what I've actually played here. You'll notice as well my cursor is a bit more evident now. I actually spent a good chunk of yesterday installing loads of different overlays and add-ons and settings for Guild Wars 2, which I've been wanting to do for a while. Includes a higher contrast cursor, which will be very nice when I go to some 5-rank games. Anyway, yeah, we're playing Sage's Scourge here, which is the easiest thing to climb on so far for me. Really frustrating to climb on, though, in terms of low awareness allies. You've already seen a little bit some of these recent games, how you can get punished. Anyway, so we're just looking at the bailout of that fight there, and we don't have to be too worried. Now, having secured mid here, if you look at my mini-map, you can see, well, you don't even have to look at the mini-map. The guy is just jumped over. You can see my guy playing super aggressively here and jumping over, and he's just snapped down a kill. And also over there have my Mesmer. Now, about this point, I look at the health, and I think everything's kind of okay, and I'm going to start looking at respawns. And you're probably wondering right now, with, you know, such a silent moment of the game, why this is a bonus clip. Well, so you see. So we look to the right, we drop a mark, because we're seeing if anybody crosses over. We're drawing our eyes here very closely. We wonder if anybody's, like, in the spot that I haven't seen just yet, so I drop down. And now I realize I've made a huge mistake. Can you see it? What's the huge mistake? Well, the huge mistake is that my aggressive allies that jumped over there have obviously been hit really hard, and they've gone down, and the mistake is dropping over this. So, why this is a mistake will become evident to you right now, because immediately you'll notice I take a beeline back. Now, I'm not looking at mid, which is contested. I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to come here. Now, why have I done this? I've done this so I can transfuse, because if anyone ever goes down on either side of this awesome wall here, you, as a Scourge, have a brilliant play you can make where you can pluck a body through this. So here I've already hit the garish pillar. I stand forward a little bit, right up to the wall, and I just teleported. This is not a thief or something, right? I just teleported a necromancer through, potentially under the noses of a stomp. And now I res over here, and this is an extremely safe res I can take now. The mistake was I left that way too long. I should never have fallen down. I should have stayed on the ledge and been aware of how hard they were getting hit. I wasn't looking aggressively enough at their health bars. So there we go. We take that res, and, you know, it's a really solid play. We managed to push through with the thing. So a bit of a bonus clip and something to consider if you are, say, duo queuing. You've got a soul beast playing side nodes, wants to push fire a lot, and you're on a Scourge for team fights. You know, you two can coordinate that little maneuver 3-4 times a game. You really can. So, yeah, just something to consider there. Let's get into the actual game here. So we're on the Battle of Kyllo. This is going to be a tricky one for me. Lots of fun little moments, though, and we'll see how we do. So, coming out of the side gate here, obviously, this is a nice little opening here. We've got the Mesmer picking up close. We've got the Thief, who is free to rotate around, do what he wants. We see that we have one of our Mesmers really aggressively blows a lot of cooldowns to push super fast up towards this node. So there's kind of, this concerns me because when this happens very transparently and early, what I'm scared of is my team getting sidetracked and distracted. Basically, I still want to fight mid, but I want to fight mid slowly and carefully because this isn't a great mid. A Thief with us, the Thief is going to go plus that, realistically. So really it's just me and the Hollow, and then maybe a Thief will be helping a bit. So the way we do this team fight is not going immediately on the node. We have to, like, play carefully and around it, right? And so I always get scared because I don't know whether people, like, know that. Now, Kyllo's kind of fun for a similar reason of the bonus clip you just saw a second ago. We can do all kinds of really beautiful transfuses. We can stand here and pull people off who came on the node. We can stand here. We can do all kinds of fun stuff. I actually kind of want to play with Sandswell, just because you could, like, stand down here, like, transfuse down, Sandswell up, and then pop them up as well. So you bait all the enemies down, and then the only ones that can follow you up here are going to be classes that equally are vulnerable to CC, which you can deliver to them when they get up. There's lots of, like, nice little things like that with Scourge. Anyway, so he elixirs us, and he goes on the node, and I don't like this at all. So I'm coming around a little bit, and I don't want to get jumped. and I fall down. So horrendous misplay. I'm not going to pause this. We're going to run through this very quickly here. Awful, awful. How many bad WSD moments are there going to be on Game of the Day here? So anyway, I'm forced all the way around. Honestly, that was terrible, guys. I need life. So my problem right now is I need life force badly because I can't do anything. I've not hit anyone. It's kind of tragic, really. So I'm pushing up. I'm just trying to get some marks and some AoE pressure. But, you know, I got no good lines of sight or anything. The Hollow's obviously on me. I don't want to get in too much trouble with this Hollow. He aggresses, which is exactly what he should do. We turn a lot of his boons off, but he still has the quickness and the might, which is really scary. There goes his stab. We give ourselves our Desert Shrouds. And then we do another Corrupt boon here, which does flip the fear and get rid of a lot more of his aggressive stuff. I take the fear duration window to heal, and then we go for the knockdown, and luckily it all lands. Which is brilliant. Now he's in S, and what I can do is corrupt more boons with the Trail of Sand as we come out. What he might do is try and turn this around on me as soon as he gets out of S. So waiting with this as well to give myself stab is really nice, because he might turn around and try and Prime Light Beam or something. What I should do is Stability Elite or something, just to really guarantee I get through this. You could also do the Garish Pillar and fear him as he comes out. But there's usually a dodge roll at the end of the S, which you see there, which is why you don't see I actually precast anything, really. Because most of the time it will just get dodged. So he heal turrets there. I create a bit more of a gap. There he gets his photon wall up, but it's fine. We can fear him through it because we're unblockable with our marks. Really strong trait. It's one of those ones that doesn't look that good on paper when you're just starting out with PvP, but I promise, guys, it's very, very, very good. We get a new target here, and I'm not tunnel visioning. As long as I've shaken him, I'm fine. I want to get on this guy. The thief ports in and smacks it down with me, which is great. So my decision immediately now is to return, because this guy here is getting low. What I don't realize is he's actually up here, but I'm thinking, oh god, we've got to get back to mid. So I immediately go to leave, but then I see that he fears. So what's going through my mind right now is I could have safe stomped this with Trail of Anguish, right? Trail of Sand. But the thing is, that's such a key cooldown for getting up on the node. What I want to do is get up on the node, run in little circles up there to put lots of burning and stuff down, and just keep the stab so I'm safe when I go up there. I don't want to be CC locked again as I go up. So I didn't want to spend any resources on stomping this, which is why I wanted to leave. However, now that I see he's auto-feared, I change my mind in the moment. I dodge the fear, we get the evade, and I dodge the fear back to him and just stomp him out now. Because now I can stomp him without using safe stomp or anything. And I know I'll be fine with it. So we'll get rid of that now. Now, leaving the body there is kind of like a 50-50 thing to me right now, because I really don't have great awareness of who's died and stuff. I could obviously in the post commentary, like, count up who's dead, but I really don't know who's alive. I don't know what happened to the Hollow. I don't know how dangerous is up there. Obviously they're flipping the nodes. I can see that a guy's low, so I'm gonna take that because, you know, it's not a safe rot to me. So then I was gonna go back to mid, and finally I've just realized, oh, the guy that's low is at far. So now the idea is to run over and res the guy at far. So but I need to telegraph to him that I'm doing that, because people don't think about Blood Scourge enough. So I ping him. And that's, you know, not every ping in PvP is saying that the person's bad, guys. I'm not saying that this guy's bad. I'm just trying to make him aware that something's going on. And so, I'm hoping he'll use his port or whatever. This enemy ranger is making a massive misplay here. He's seen me coming in, or he should have. And he should know the risk here. So I transfuse. I take the res. We don't have stab again. This is the same as the other game of the day, where I didn't give myself... Oh, I used the stab for the swiftness instead. This time I think it was okay, though, because he was so low. We take the heavy res, and now I get kind of a decision. What do I want to do? Do I want to plus that down with him, or do I want to just leave? Well, I've got an over-rotating ally here. We're 3-capped against us, right? So I've got an over-rotating ally, and I just decided to leave straight away. How do we interrupt him there with his elite up? I must have corrupted somehow at some point while we were talking about something else. So we could drop the shade up here, which is more corrupts, and also he has to walk for a reasonable amount of time through it. Oh, I guess I was out of range on it, so I stay on the staff stuff. Pull back just a little bit, because I'm scared, basically. Not sure where everyone is, but it's looking like now what we want to do is we're going to cap close, finally. Wait, whoa, not close. Yeah, close. Hold on, I've been really turned around here. Oh, it's because we ran through mid earlier, isn't it? We went through CT and got knocked off the other side. I got totally turned around on the post commentary there. Yeah, so we do pick up close, and now what we do is we're going to be looking to regroup and hit mid. The regroup's going to be tricky because 2 of our guys have been pressured really hard, and that's my main focus right now. Don't care about the node, don't care about anyone there. All I care about is supporting the people that are being hounded. So that's where I position myself. We get the elite up as they climb over the boxes. They don't go onto it, so it's not a very good elite, to be honest, at all. If they'd continued pushing, it would have been nice. And the other guy that was getting hurt here is down. Now, I'm on this ledge, though, because what I wanted to do was blink him up. But he died way too quick for me to be able to do that. So, now it's about the fight. We get on the Reaper. Corrupting Boon on Reaper, I'm finding over and over again, is a really, really successful, good strategy. It's just really important. The second you get rid of a Reaper's Shroud, they're so vulnerable. And if you can have them CC locked when otherwise they wouldn't be, it's very, very, very useful. So I really like playing Scourge into Reapers. Anyway, so yeah, we get him down. They all go for a big res. I drop down as well. This is where I should have my elite. So you can see I wasn't conservative with my elite earlier. And, well, in a way, I don't know. It was kind of an alright elite. It did give the guy the pills he needed. Anyway, it would have been amazing here. We don't have it, though, so pretty unfortunate. Anyway, the guy goes down. We're straight onto the NG. We get the Corrupt on his stab while he's in his Photon Leap, his Hollow Leap, which he could have used on a water field with his F1 on the turret, which could have healed him at the end, but he got feared instead, so you never get the value of the combo finisher. I don't know if that's what he was doing. He was probably dead anyway, but it's a nice little thing to note. So, yeah, and with that, we've managed to take mid here. I'm just looking to see what's going on. I can see that my Thief's in a 1v1. With the other Thief, and they're kind of training each other. They could just leave at this point. I think my Thief could just stealth up, get away, get to some support, and then go for a back cap or something later. He doesn't have an opportunity over there, isn't there? Is that a player standing over there? Anyway, I can see that they're in danger, so what I'm doing is I'm providing support to him with the marks. So like if I land the Mark 4 on him, I can cleanse him when the opponent Thief jumps in. So, you know, if he's got poison and weakness on him, just shedding that weakness off of him can be really good, so he can trade some more pressure over. It's just helping him his 1v1 a bit. But aside from that, you've got to understand, I have no intention of going too far right now. None. I really, really don't like the idea of that, because they're all going to respawn onto me. So, yeah, anyway, we just give him the pressure. I'm getting hit by the Hollow. We LOS behind this. Still giving him marks if he stands in them and he needs them. We get a kill on the Thief, the opposing Thief there. I don't even know where that was. So hold on, let's rewind that a little bit. Yeah, where's he pop up? Oh, he's over here, right. So yeah, the Mesmer's hit. My Mesmer started hitting him too, but our bleed was still on there. So he goes down. My Mesmer pushes up. So now this is pretty good for me because I can pressure over this body really heavily. I can make sure that the Thief stays down. It's an Elixir S-Res. So this isn't vulnerable. I can't do anything. So my only option now really is to shade there and hit the body as much as possible because I can't do anything about the res. And then I also go for a Garish Pillar here in case he comes out of S and then we can knock him away. But he gets the res very, very quickly and comfortably there. So now I'm in danger, obviously. I'm 2v1. I'm outnumbered. So I'm coming up here to kite. They interrupt my heal, but I give myself a lot of barrier here, which is excellent, and stab. I come right to the end, and if the Thief was still on me, I'm hoping I would have like done a banana jump. But the Thief fell off anyway, as I was spamming my crap. So that's good, and the Hollow turned around because he was getting decapped. And with that decap, we finally, you know, we've started to punish them on the board as well now. We've also been getting major rot value here. And of the few games I played yesterday, I have to say, rotting was a really, really big thing. I was winning a lot of games just for holding bodies instead of stomping them out in a lot of situations. So here was a fun moment. I'm very rarely confident in situations like this. But here I can see that the Thief has stolen from me. That's what interrupted our heal earlier. And now he's using his fear that he gets from that. And I don't know if he's trying to port up to me or what, and he's getting a no valid path. I think this is valid path, to tell you the truth, because it passed up, I think, anyway. But if he stays down, I'm never confident in situations like this, because I know that this is like a shockwave, right? We all know what the skull fear is like, right? I know it's a shockwave, but I don't know what the height is like on it for a lot of skills like this. Sometimes they work, and they've got lots of quality of life in them. Sometimes they don't. So what about this 2012 one? And I have some vague sense that I won't be hit by it. But if he can fear me off, then, you know, he's going to seek to jump on me afterwards. So anyway, I'm just standing, and I don't want to dodge necessarily. And we go for the interrupt. Does he even land it? Did I manage to interrupt it with the oppressive collapse? So anyway, yeah, we take the oppressive collapse, and here you go. Here's the other shockwave. I knew there was a moment about the shockwave. Does my one hit? I think it doesn't. I don't think that landed at all there. Anyway, we can just haze him down there. I take a corrupt boon, because what I'm actually trying to do there is cripple him, because I know he'll create a very big gap, but he evades his way through it. We go for a chill, and here, look, he steals onto me now. He did wait for me to get on this roof, so is this no valid path? I thought it was valid. I really did. Anyway, he's not doing well here. He's really struggling. He can't kite away from me. I'm tunnel visioning a bit now, to be honest with you, and he's out. So I give it up as soon as he's no longer visible, and I realize that my guy's been outnumbered for a while and is probably really angry that I've not got here sooner. I mean, it's kind of a 2v3 as far as interacting with players on this side of the map is. So anyway, we come forwards. You saw I backpedaled a little bit there because I knew he'd just gone hot the photon, and I didn't want to give him stability on his corona. So we stand back just a little bit. He jumps in on me. I'm actually very comfortable, right? Well, I say that, and then I get CC'd really far off. I think both of them managed to get me quite well there. I get an allied in as well. Honestly, I'm playing really low pressure here. I'm not doing very good. He goes up and kites the same way that I did, except we stay on him. My holo does very well there and gets a lot of pressure. I make the decision here to leave that body. He starts self-rezzing. So all I'm going to do is auto. Now, just a little comment about yesterday's game of the day, or the last one you saw. When I talked about holding the marks over the bodies, I actually made a really obvious realization, an important realization, doing that video yesterday. It's kind of nice, actually, and, you know, I'm a bit embarrassed to have not really thought of this before. But you know how I said I always cover with the 2 instead of the 5? Don't use the 2. There's no, in any situation where you're going to use the 2, there's basically very little point in it. I know it cools down very quickly, and that's what I was thinking of, but you should always use the 3, and I can't believe I didn't think of this, right? The reason I was shying away from the 3 before is because it's a much higher value skill. With the chill, it allows you to keep the 1200 range in a lot of situations. You don't want to get caught with your pants down without this. I really like this skill. But here's the really important part. This applies poison. So when you're covering a body with a mark, yeah, you can use the 5, but instead of the 2, you should always just use the 3, really, I think, because if an opponent goes in for a res, maybe they dodge the mark, maybe they don't dodge the mark. It's kind of, it doesn't matter. The important part is this will poison the body, right? So, and poisoning the body is super high value, and that's really going to slow things down. You know, that's equivalent to getting like a quick little fear that then they're going to get around and then come back in. So, yeah, just use the 3. I mean, that was just a little observation. That was just something I thought of yesterday doing that video. So it's kind of cool making these, you know. Kind of teaches you weird little things sometimes. So anyway, yeah, we move up towards the node. This isn't great because I'm outnumbering, but it's not, yeah, and as a Scourge, what you gotta understand is when you're a very low mobility class like this and you're looking for the big fights, if you are plussing, it's kind of really awkward and weird, and you possibly shouldn't, especially not while mid's hot. However, I believe it's justifiable right now because we are rotting a body on the board, so that's at least one eliminated opponent. It means that I'm not creating unequal numbers for my allies. I'm not forcing my allies to kite outnumbered with this because we have a body down. At least one. And other kills that have been going on the map, such as this one here, that maybe I wasn't even associated with, make this even safer of a play. So it's fine for the, you know, maybe a 20 second or so. And even a low mobility build can justify going over there and doing that. Kind of horrendous torch 4 there. You guys can ignore that. So we're basically just trying to nail down this this holo. Sorry, scrapper. Is he a scrapper? Anyway, he's bailing out. He's bailing towards mid, and he's going to decap mid, so I guess I'm going there to prevent him from doing that. We can get there in time. Now, I know he's going to try and CC me here, so what's going through my mind, is, especially a CC on this bridge, is really terrible because I'll fall off. What's going through my mind is, do I double dodge? Is that worth a double dodge to get through? I don't really have anything else, and kind of the entire run is pointless if I do get CC'd there. So, I take one dodge, and then I'm blown out, but it's not too terrible. Yeah, he is a scrapper because he's running the hammer, right? So, yeah, anyway, I come up, I get the plus. I can stay and cap this on this roll. I'm perfectly happy to do this. I think this is a nice way of handling it. I get interrupted there, and I was hoping not to. Then I see my guy blows him out, which I'm really happy with, because now I can rot it. I'll take some staff autos, though, just to get a bit of life force. There I saw he was winding up his pull, so I dodge rolled back. detonated some of his mines as well. So this is the thing. What I got knocked back there, that was mine, wasn't it? That was throw mine. Legit. Is that a real thing? Scrapper's running that? That's crazy cool if that is actually what's going on in the game at the moment. And yeah, he was on dodge roll mines and stuff as well, right? So yeah, anyway, we take that. We're going back to far. Things have really smoothed out now at this point in the game. I did have a choice to go back to my Mesmer here, but with an ally on respawn, you'd expect them to do this. And we just saw our guy spawned. Unfortunately, he doesn't take the obvious plus, though. Oh, no, he does. There you go. He does. I thought he was going to mid. Yeah, so he does that, and that means I can come over here, and I can help with this fight. Again, we outnumber them. You're not looking at anything very smart here, guys. What you're looking at is their team is staggered, and our team is continuously punishing them from trickling in. And so many, I've got to say, so many Conquest games, you're either winning or losing purely on that. Purely just because there's like an offset, a slight stagger is going on. And that's it. You just, what you're looking at is a high mobility thief and some other reasonably quick mesmers here that are just slamming and snowballing things down because the enemy team hasn't found a good opportunity to regroup. You'll note that at the start of the game, when they did that, they had a great lead. And so this is the real punish for the enemy team here. I've not done anything particularly smart. In fact, I would even question my decision to come here and full cap this right now, really. But here's the fun thing. So we have a body down, and I can rot this. And what's really nice is a Scourge doing this. And there you go. You can see, I think I have the Mark III over him this time. What's really nice, and maybe this is the 5, I don't know. What's really nice as a Scourge is people are going to be really scared to res under me. I know we saw like one occurred there earlier with the Elixir S at the start, but when I let this guy get a bit lower, it's going to be really difficult for the enemy team to work through that. So I can kind of 2v1 in a way. It's not really a 2v1 because he'll be down. So this guy starts self-resing, and at this point I realize, okay, the level of play here is not great. So if you watch, we've got a Reaper coming in. I immediately bail off of the node. Now, the Reaper could go decap that. I don't care. If he decaps it, I can walk off while hazing this and get the kill. If the Reaper comes at me, he kind of has, you know, a bit of an awkward walk to go through to do that. And he's more likely, he's got another objective that I'm basically telling him to go for first. So I'm positioned here, and I don't care about the nodes. And so we're going to just try and keep our distance from the Reaper. We're also going to watch for a Spectral Grasp. Because those are really scary as hell, and he could do something nasty there. So we put the shade up. He used Spectral Walk, and he ported back very quickly. We knock him down with the Oppressive Collapse. We jump when using the 3, just to make sure we actually fully land it. This is his elite that he's casting, and I'm confident that I'm out of range. He could have been on Lissa Runes, by the way. Wooden Potatoes, as always said it. Lissa Runes is great on Reaper. That would have been fucking amazing for him there. But nope, he's going for the res here on like a guy that's on no health at all. I come in an elite. Now, I cast that a little bit early. Still not 100% really with the timings of this. If I'd used my Trail of Anguish at the same time, the swiftness would have put me just over the edge. But mind you, we are getting the ticks. Maybe it is in range. Just about. That's got to be in range, right? I think we just about got that, but that wasn't like some obscene min-max understanding, intuitive understanding of that stuff. So anyway, now he goes into Shroud. The second he goes into Shroud, we want to be very careful. Now, we get the one flip on the stab, but it's back here. So that would have been, he's running foot in the grave, right? Which is, he presses F1 and he gets stab, which we just flipped. And then he's pressed his skill 3, his armor, which you can see from the unique buff on there. Sorry, it's this one here, this buff. And that gives him more stab, which we've already corrupted or removed 1 from the elite. But he's at 2 stacks. So now we want to interrupt the next one before all of this horrendous damage comes in. Fortunately, we've already flipped the quickness on Shroud into slow. So his animations are going to be really slow here. We don't care about the body anymore. So it's about Corrupt Boon. Okay. So we dodge back as he uses the 2 there. We Corrupt Boon. That was in the middle of the 5. He's interrupted back. He's forced out of Shroud very, very soon here. Don't forget all that movement with the Torment up. And now he realizes like his only chance there was to kill me and come in. But he didn't. We just and so now beautifully we can do the same thing again and watch the stagger here, right? The stagger is the same. Here, this is a Mark IV over the body, which it's kind of whatever, right? At this point with that, because I know that by the time anyone else comes in here, my cooldowns are going to be back. So here we're watching the holo. I don't know if you guys saw that, but really far away, I'm actually watching the base to see where the holo goes, who's just about to respawn as we finish this fight. And if you look. And we're healing up and waiting. There's the Hollow, and we're looking at which door he's going out of. Now, I'm thinking a smart Hollow leaves. A smart Hollow goes to do something else. A really aggressive Hollow comes back. So I'm watching, and I'm like, okay, he's going out a side door. So the second I see he's going out a side door, I start moving this way, because I can position myself a little bit better. Maybe if he comes down like this, I can start hazing. I can haze over there. I'm still watching this, though, in case other people are coming, because there is still a body there, obviously, and they're going to be tempted for it. And even this guy starts trying to self-res, so I instantly interrupt that, apply some poison, and we watch this Hollow. So wait. I guess, sorry, the Hollow's a different guy. This is the Scrap who was on respawn. Yeah, I thought he respawned a bit quick there. So this is the other guy, and then he comes back. And so what you've actually seen now, if I get this again, we, as 1/5 of our team, have locked down 33% of the map. And every second we do this, we are getting further and further ahead. We're racing to the end, right? So this is just, like, terrible for the enemy team right now. It means that the rest of my players can, even while doing quite badly, have good numbers and support. Because I've eliminated 2 of their enemy team by doing this, just by juggling them like so, right? By staggering their respawns. And it's a real thing to learn, guys. If, instead of coming in, this guy waited for his friend to respawn and they both came up here together, I would have no choice but to leave. I'd be so screwed. And they could have done that 2 spawns ago. Anyway, so he Elixir S's, and it's like, why? Here we see that the fear. Do I dodge it? Yeah, I dodged the fear. He's forced off of the body. Again, I don't care about the... You'll see just how footloose I am with that. Like, I don't let it dictate the fights. We get the shield in front of us. This is a really nice shield. So I break through it with the unblockable here and get the fear and whatnot. But he's going to mitigate all my other stuff, which is actually really kind of nice. I like that one a lot. So anyway, yeah, I use consume conditions. And the guy's healing again. So I'm like, okay, all right, this is a little bit tricky. I take the auto to interrupt that. Then we got to get back on the Hollow here. No, this is a Hollow. I don't know who I'm fighting, the Scrapper or the Hollow. Whatever. Look, you get the gist, guys. Another auto. Now, that auto there, once again, interrupted his self-heal attempt, which is still a terrible play, just for what it's worth. I'm usually very anyone who watches me play this game and really knows me, know that I go for a lot of cheesy self-reses. A lot of them. Very questionable, stupid self-reses that really I shouldn't try. I would never in a million years try even this, right? It's ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, we interrupt the Prime Light Beam with the Mark V there. Straight back into the Scepter. He gets a block. We LOS with the tree and take the 4, which will splash through the tree. And then the Oppressive Collapse will do something too, but he manages to kite out of that quite well. We corrupt him with the Torment. He wastes his Corona Burst. This guy once again is healing. You can see my mark's still there, just doing nothing. He's stealthed, but we see his heal turret, so we know where that is. Here I've gone into my Q with the shade over the guy, so that's hitting the body really hard. Yeah, so we know that this guy's stealthed, and well, let me just rewind and show you my tip-off for that. So, has the heal turret already come down? Yeah, so there's the heal turret, and he could be leaving, which would be an alright play to leave, frankly. But if he's coming at me, I know that that's a risk. So what you'll see here is, there we see a static discharge proc. That's him probably throwing an elixir at his feet or something, and it's thrown in a static discharge next to him. That's your tip-off for a lot of NGs. So seeing that, I know he's here. He also is likely going to know that I know if I'm any good, so he'll use his attacks very quickly. So I dodge roll back just about when I think he comes in range. We get this is a particle accelerator here, more static discharge. We avoid all of that. That's lots of evade frames there. We garish pillar around us. That's not for this. That's in case the Hollow is next to me and I can fear him away. This is the downstate well. And now the Hollow's realized, crap, that's not worked at all. We take another corrupt boon on him. And what I was trying to do is get the Chillblains or something through, not Chillblains, but trying to get something through the wall. And this guy rezzing again. I know what you guys are going to be looking at this game like you were looking at the Berserk, a couple of Berserker games, like, what, who are these players? What do you believe? Seriously, this is like, this is nearly prime time queuing, and I'm not actually on the leaderboard, but I'm the equivalent of like top 11 NA right now. This game, literally, I promise. So anyway, we that's the state of it, guys. So we use the scepter, we put the 2 on him, and we could just kind of stand here, right? Maybe I could go closer up to the node, but I'm just watching to see who comes in. So here, I see my mark pops, and I'm like, what the hell's popped to my mark? It's a function gyro, so the Scrapper's back. So, can we as a solo Scourge continue locking down 1/3 of the map? Well, now I'm getting attacked from behind as well. So I am -2 right now. Well, no, I'm -1 because one of them was a body. What am I talking about? I don't need to be that silly. So I'm -1. I've got both NGs on me again here. So finally we cleave the body out. The function gyro can't do quick enough. Pop the elite very aggressively, very early. I kite away from the supply crate, and my friends come in. So and we get a lucky dodge on the prime light beam there. There was no skill in that. That was just complete luck. But yeah, it's really nice to see that as soon as, that number disadvantage comes in on me, I finally get a plus from an ally somewhere, which is kind of bad, to be honest. I didn't get anything from a thief for all this time. But you can kind of consider... I mean, I was in a 1v1. It would have been nice to have one, you know? But maybe they're struggling elsewhere on the map. Hey, who knows? So the Mesmer comes and even gives me a portal. They all appreciate it's pretty hot over there. And I take this. I could have stayed, really. And done a bit more fighting, but I know I don't need to, so I pull back. The entire thing was, overly aggressive. The entire thing was pretty stupid. The entire thing was pretty open to being punished. So I come back. Then I reassess the situation, though, having gone back to mid, and I decide, okay, maybe I can swing this, but this is also a terrible play, because as you see, I just got decapped behind my own back, so... Pretty rookie, horrible stuff there from me. I should have just committed to that position. I didn't need to plus this. They'd already scored the kill anyway. So very, very bad gameplay from me here. Very bad. You could definitely judge the hell out of this. I certainly would. So yeah, anyway, we haze the scrappers coming back in, and now I don't really know what I want to do, and I feel like I'm throwing a little bit. I remember even in the moment feeling like that. We take a bit of corrupt on him. We know he's blocking during that. I jumped again while using the 4 to see if I could land it. I mean, he's being hit pretty hard on the wall there. We're nearing the 400 point mark, but the buffer is not enough, right? Like, there's never really an excuse to just suddenly start playing terribly and rotating as terribly as you're watching me now. There's never really an excuse. But sometimes it's okay because you've got enough of a buffer. I wouldn't even say we have enough of a buffer here. They could easily come back in this quite comfortably. So anyway, I guess I'm just sort of standing around here. I'm kind of backnoding, but it's a reverse backnode, if you will, because they're close, which means it's just a worse position, and I'm not the right role for it either. Thief comes in, so it's time to leave instantly. There's no way I'm going to try and fight that. Take the stab and flee out like this. He's SD, so I'm just spamming marks. I dropped the elite on the ramp here, and my job here is actually to stay on the ramp right now. The ramp's really clunky and annoying to deal with, especially on SD when, I don't know, these just kind of like little narrow annoying places. So putting the elite there is really nice. That shakes me off very comfortably. Over to the node. We can drop a shade over there. My guy's low. So what I want to do really is barrier him up. Oh, I don't barrier him up. I could have used the 3 and buried him up a little bit there. Scrapper comes in, not really concerned about. What else do we got? So now you'll see another side of the game as well. Another reason why me on Far's not very good. My thief is decapping there, right? So if any, I haven't played like a DP, very roamy thief for a long time now, but if any of you have, you'll know how frustrating it is when someone who shouldn't really be pushing Far keeps doing it when you could, when your comp doesn't, didn't need to. And you kind of feel crippled in a lot of ways. Like, it's really frustrating that his role is really good for just neutralizing that and going off. But I deny him that opportunity, I, like, friendly fire him in a way. So, as cool as it was doing that earlier, it wasn't optimal anyway because we could have had a lot of good value out of the others. So here I port out. Here's the thing for me about portals. I don't know whether it's really a good perspective. Maybe you guys have got some comments on it. Quite often, it will lead to a very good opportunity for you, before you've even really assessed it on the map. Like, that Mesmer's bailing out of an engagement, they likely could have softened something up on the other side that you could deal with very comfortably. Or they're opening it specifically for you to go in. So, just from like a rookie level, from like a poor player's perspective, I guess all I'm trying to say is don't be scared to just see don't forget that you can go through them and see how you feel utilizing them sometimes, because you'd be surprised how many opportunities really come from that the Mesmer might not even be thinking of, right? Particularly if they're trying to bail out of a dangerous situation and you're quite healthy. To suddenly, I mean, think about this. It's a 1v1 and then you just suddenly trade a fatigued character for a not fatigued one in the middle of the 1v1. Like, that's a really good thing, right, for your team. So yeah, I don't know. I've not articulated that very well. Basically, I feel like that portal was safe to go through and might have led to something good. So anyway, we come up to mid again. Pretty poor play overall. I transfused. So here really confused me. What actually happened here? I didn't know what happened here in the game either. I transfused to port him up onto the node, which is fine. And then the body just disappears. I mean, it's a thief, so... Oh, do you know what? He used his down state too, and I think he used it. He used it, obviously out of the Well of Blood and stuff, but I think he used it, he was going to use it anyway. I think he was trying to come to me, but I ported him before and so we doubled up, because he's ended up behind me, and I'll see that in a second. I just cleave these down here. Yeah, look, he ended up behind me, and it's really important I get to that, because otherwise he's rally bait. So I run back over. Yeah, I think that's what was going on there. Now he rallies. We take the fear. God, this isn't particularly entertaining watching me just grinding through a scrapper most of the game. But yeah, it's really nice to see people quickly rotating, moving around here. When you're more of a stationary thing. Again, I'm very happy being here. I think I got Bassi shed, did I? Did I get shared Bassi Venom and just got a stun with just a regular mark? Here, I don't want to kill him because he's not on the nodes. And I don't really see any risk. Here's the Reaper. We'll just go immediately onto them. Now there's 2 bodies. And that's basically GG right there. That's the game's over. So we managed to get through this without dying. And we got some reasonable kills. But I think mostly the reason why this was a comfortable game for me was just because there was no solid regroup from my opponents. I wasn't punished for some pretty bad stuff. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, Jesus Christ. I just get decapped, like, underneath my... This is a bad game. I don't know whether I should show you guys this game. So, yeah, that was pathetic and pointless, and I shouldn't have got off the node there whatsoever. He pops all of his boons. Like, this is such a throw, guys, honestly. 2 minutes left on the clock. It's not a major throw. I'm probably, you know, just not really thinking very deeply right now because the game's basically over. Oh, no, I see. Yeah. Pfft. I was looking in chat. I remember this now. Yeah, there were people, like, talking a lot in chat, and I stopped to start reading it. I wasn't even focusing on the game, and I got decapped. I remember now. Yeah, all right. Forgiveness, please. So here... Oh, yeah, actually, I think this is pretty bad. There's a lot of CC chain on me there. So I try and pull out. But I've actually got... I got supply created by this guy. I've been hit by the Reaper. I think I got Warhorn forward. I've been jumped in by the Thief. And now I think the Hollow comes on me as well now. Yeah, with the Photon Blitz. Literally 4 of them. Zerg mid here. And I go down. There was a play. My out was here at the portal. And if I'd been thinking about that with the Mesmer, he could have ported me to safety. And I wouldn't have died once that game. But yeah, so there you go. Top revives and healing. Which is pretty common for me to see on Scourge, to be honest. And yeah, this was one of the games where I was right on the Plat 3 border, I guess. Played a few more, and they went alright, and then I played one and lost a ton of rating all in one, so, and then I stopped. But yeah, so there you go, guys. That's Game of the Day. A little bit more Scourge stuff. I'll see what else is inspiring me. I did try a bit of Mesmer today, and I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it too much. It's changed a lot, and I'm not really sure I like Axe, and I'm not really sure I like Pistol that much. Not in terms of efficacy, but just in terms of playstyle and stuff, so... Anyway, we'll see. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.